of growth left and right of the Southeast Asian corner of the world. And in the early 80s ภาษาที่ผู้นำเขาใช้กันคือ the oxygen of investment, foreign direct investment coming into ASEAN has been taken out of ASEAN and Southeast Asia ไป Northeast แล้วก็ไป South Asia and model of growth of those two economies have been similar to ASEAN's คือ labor intensive, cheap raw materials, very low cost environmental requirements and protection. ASEAN สู้เขาไม่ได้ ASEAN could not compete on that modality of growth. So we have to become an integrated market community, economic community was not a free choice. It's a necessity. เป็นความจำเป็นที่จะต้องสร้างประชาคมเศรษฐกิจอาเซียนขึ้นมาเพื่อเป็นฐานที่จะไปต่อรองกับคนอื่น600ล้านใหญ่กว่า64แน่ๆตลาด600ล้านใหญ่กว่าตลาดไทย10เท่าชัดเจนสำหรับหลายประเทศมันใหญ่กว่านั้นการที่จะไปต่อรองกับคนอื่น to bargain to negotiate to persuade them to come into one market you have the other 9 into one market you have access and you have the market of the 10 of the 600 million hungry and thirsty consumers. We are a growing market, growing middle class, and rising purchasing power. Yes, less than half of China. Yes, only half of India. But the GDP combined is bigger than India's now. The challenge is whether we can keep that pace of growth and compete with India. But we are bigger. So, การที่มีฐานใหญ่ขึ้นมี market ใหญ่ขึ้นมีตลาดที่ต้องการ consume ต้องการใช้บริการมากขึ้นคือ bargaining power ของทุกประเทศในอาเซียนท่านคงทราบนะอาเซียนเนี่ยไอเดียเกิดที่ประเทศไทย It's an intellectual property of Thailand The idea of ASEAN, the vision of ASEAN, it's a diplomatic legacy that Thailand has imparted to the region and now to the world. And I told Mrs. Aung San Suu Kyi yesterday, I'm glad you have decided to come here rather than Norway first. Because whatever Myanmar would like to do and tremendous potential there, Myanmar will have to synergize with ASEAN. Myanmar will have to take the ASEAN bridge out to the global community. Yes, the world can come and invest. Yes, every country is competing to go in because of the abundant natural resources and also thirsty and hungry market of 60 million people. Yes, next to China, next to India, yes. But Myanmar will need ASEAN. So the choice of coming here first is definitely a state-woman-like decision. We welcome that. Now, it's not only $2 trillion trade. It is $7.4 trillion trade if you take the plus 3 countries in the group, China, Japan, Korea. China, Japan, Korea became the plus 3 countries ตอนที่เราเป็นไข่ต้มยำกุ้ง 1997, Dr. Mahathir of Malaysia hosted the ASEAN Summit, hosted the APEC Summit. And we were all down, including Malaysia, including Indonesia, including Thailand, including South Korea, including the Philippines. Economies and markets that have been exposed to the world were all affected because of our Tom Yam Goong disease. And Dr. Mahathir had an idea before that called EAEC, East Asia Economic Caucus. And the West and the global community said the Asians are going to create their own trade bloc. It's not going to be healthy for WTO. It's not going to be healthy for the global economy. And they were against that idea, EAEC. But then came the Tom Yam Goong syndrome. We realized, the Japanese realized, the Chinese realized, the South Korean realized that we were more connected with each other than we thought we were. Because it's boom, 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 the entire region. So it became ASEAN plus 3 for the first time, and the combined trade there between them, between us and the 3 countries, $7.4 trillion and growing. And if you combine India, Australia, and New Zealand, ASEAN plus 6, $8.4 trillion open for your business. The population, you do the บวกเลขเองก็แล้วกัน And then last year, the US and Russia came to the ASEAN East Asia Summit in Bali. Obama came. And Mr. Obama said, if we, the Americans, are going to get out of our own crisis, we have to export more, we have to sell more. He said this to the ASEAN leaders at their second summit in New York, September 2010. And he said, when I look around, where are the consumers and where are the markets? It's East Asia, you. So for the US to re-engage with the region through ASEAN, for the US to pivot toward East Asia, it's also not a choice, it's a necessity. And we welcome that decision. ด้วยรัสเซียเข้ามาด้วย US เข้ามาเนี่ยจาก 8.4 trillion trade เป็น 12.3 trillion 18 countries